So you just installed a free antivirus to protect your phone and suddenly it's slower, your battery drains faster, and the ads just won't stop. Free antivirus might protect your phone, but who protects you from the antivirus? Well, I tested dozens of free antivirus apps on the Google Play Store to find the ones that actually keep you safe without spying on you or killing your battery. Okay, let's be honest, does anybody really read through all of the permissions and privacy policies before installing a new app? Yeah, me either, so don't be too hard on yourself. But it feels like it's become the norm for us to install a new app, tap allow, and move on with our day. But here's the problem. Over half of the free security apps on the Android store contain hidden trackers that quietly collect your location and browsing habits and sell them to advertisers. And that's exactly how they make money. Fortunately, in a lot of cases, if the product is free, then your data is the product. It's like hiring a free security guard. Sure, he stops the burglars, but he's also installed hidden cameras inside your house and is selling the footage. The good apps are nothing like that. Think of them as a professional silent alarm system. They sit quietly in the background, cost nothing, and only go off when there's a real threat, and they don't sell your data. Speaking of apps that do their job quietly, Android does come with some built-in protection. It's called Play Protect. And on paper, it sounds like it should be enough, but it's not. Play Protect is notoriously weak against newer threats. Independent tests have shown it misses a significant percentage of fresh malware, especially anything that doesn't already have a known signature. It catches the obvious, well-documented stuff. The rest, well, it usually gets through. And that's exactly why a third-party app isn't optional. It's the actual layer of protection that Play Protect isn't providing. And if you want the same protection on your laptop, then we've already tested the best free antivirus options for Windows in a separate video. We'll link to that down in the description. Now, most of the bad apps don't look bad. 5-star ratings, millions of downloads, clean UI, but none of that tells you much. What does tell you the full story is the permission they ask for. A legitimate antivirus needs storage access to scan your files. That's pretty much it. If an app is requesting access to your microphone, camera, or contacts, then that's a huge red flag. Those permissions have nothing to do with scanning for malware. And watch for those vague justifications too. Phrases like required to improve protection are designed to sound technical without explaining anything at all. If a permission request doesn't have a clear, logical reason behind it, then that's worth taking seriously. And the exact same thing applies to behavior. A security app should be quiet. It steps in when there's a real threat and otherwise just stays out of your way. Constant notifications, in-app ads, or alerts pushing you to fix something every time you open it, or pressure tactics, not security features. If you want to tighten up your Android settings beyond an antivirus, then we actually have a separate video covering the specific changes that you probably want to make. Okay, so once we filter out all of the junk, a few apps actually hold up pretty well. First up is Avira. When you open it up, you get a clean status screen, a scan button, and a breakdown of what's active, nothing buried, nothing overcrowded. The scanner also runs in the cloud, which means it's checking your apps against a live, constantly updated database rather than whatever was stored locally on your device. And that means detection is sharper without adding noticeable lag or battery drain. It also includes a privacy scanner that flags which apps have access to sensitive permissions, your location, microphone, or contacts, for example. Most people never check that, and on top of that, the free version actually comes with basic anti-theft tools, like locate your device, trigger a remote alarm, or lock and wipe it remotely. There's a privacy scanner that flags which apps have access to sensitive permissions, which is something that most people never actually bother to check. There's even a VPN built in, but the free version has strict daily data caps, so don't get too excited here. It's practical for short sessions like public Wi-Fi or a quick login, but that's about it. If you want a free VPN that you can actually use properly, then we've tested the fastest ones for Android in this video here. Day-to-day, Avira stays out of your way, no constant alerts, no upsell screens every time you open it. You run a scan, check your status, and move on with your day. Next up is TotalAV. When you open it, the focus isn't immediately on threats, it's on what's sitting on your phone. Cache files, leftover app data, temporary junk that's been quietly building up in the background. Run a scan and it surfaces all of it in one place. And if your phone's been feeling a little bit slower than usual, then clearing all of that out can make a noticeable difference. And that's really where TotalAV earns its place on the free tier. On the security side, the free version has a pretty real limitation worth mentioning up front. There's no real-time protection. You're running manual scans rather than having something actively watching in the background. It'll catch threats when you tell it to look, but it won't find them on its own. The UI also reflects that balance well. Everything is built around scanning and cleanup, straightforward, low friction, no noise pulling you in different directions. And if you do decide to upgrade later, TotalAV consistently has one of the cheapest premium plans in this category. We'll link to all of the best currently available deals down in the description box below. It's the most straightforward way to get real-time protection without overpaying for it. Okay, but last up is Bitdefender. I like to think of this one as the set it and forget it app. When you open it, that philosophy is immediately obvious. Clean status screen, a scan button, and virtually nothing else competing for your attention. There's no dashboard full of a bunch of metrics, no constant prompts, just a clear readout of whether you're protected or not. It uses the same cloud-based scanning engine as Bitdefender's paid version, which is worth noting. That means you're not getting a watered-down detection system. It automatically scans every new app you install, and you can trigger a manual scan at any time. But outside of that, it stays completely silent. What makes it genuinely stand out though is how little you feel it running. Again, a lot of apps claim to be lightweight, but you will still notice the battery drain or the occasional slowdown. Bitdefender is one of the few that actually delivers on that promise. So if your battery life matters to you, which I think is all of us, then that is worth factoring in here. Now, to be clear, it's not the most feature-rich option on this list, but if you just want solid, quiet protection that handles the basics without getting in your way, then this is probably the easiest one to live with long-term. Now, remember, not all free antivirus apps protect you in real time, and that distinction matters more than anything else in this space. Some free apps only scan when you tell them to, so you install a malicious app, it goes straight through, and unless you remember to run a manual scan later, it just sits on your phone completely undetected. And unfortunately, in that example, the threat is already inside. Real-time scanning, on the other hand, catches that at the point of install. Anything suspicious gets flagged and stopped before it lands on your device. And that's the layer that most free apps quietly leave out. Avira's free version includes real-time protection. TotalAV's free version just doesn't. You're relying on manual scans. And that's not a deal breaker if you're disciplined about it, but it is a meaningful difference worth understanding and considering before you decide. And Bitdefender scans automatically on every new install, so while it's not monitoring constantly, nothing gets onto your device without being checked first. So if you want automatic, continuous coverage and the free options aren't enough, a paid plan does fill that gap nicely, usually for just a few dollars a month. Okay, so here's your quick decision guide before you go. Use Avira if you want the most from a free app, real-time protection, a privacy scanner, and anti-theft tools all in one place. Use Bitdefender if you just want something quiet that stays out of your way, and use TotalAV if your phone is a bit sluggish and cleanup is a priority for you. And if you're looking at other security apps in the Play Store, please don't go by ratings alone. A 5-star app from an unknown developer is exactly where things tend to go wrong. Fake and clone apps are also pretty common, so use the direct verified links in the description to make sure that you're downloading the real versions. And if you want full real-time protection, web shielding, or unlimited VPN data, then we've linked to the best current premium deals for each app down in the description box as well. But stay safe out there, and we'll see you in the next video.